Good morning, everyone. Good morning. Good morning. Welcome to TV Room Consulting. This is our podcast, our monthly podcast where we talk about people first. And I am excited. I have one of my favorite people in the entire world, Miss Cassandra Bennett. We have been friends for, I'm going to say, like 33 years. 33 years. And we haven't been always close in each other's lives, but we have always been close. And we always, wherever we pick up, is right where we left off, no matter if it was years in between or not. So I love you to pieces. I'm so glad you joined me today for TDRM Consulting for my podcast. I was doing some cartwheels, kind of sort of, when I was like, oh, I got her. Yeah. Thank you very, 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 very much. So Cassandra Bennett is a yoga teacher, a marathoner, a veteran, and just a side note, Cassandra was my mentor in the military. That's where we met. And she mentored me as a medical lab tech. She sure did. And I appreciate you immensely because that has catapulted me into my healthcare career. So yay us. Look at us.
Did not anticipate that, but
Yeah, you did. And I've never forgotten you. So Cassandra is the CEO and owner of Comfort Care, Montgomery County in PA. Is that right? Did I get that right?
yes.
And on her website, I just pulled up some content, and I also want to give her a chance to talk a little bit about herself as well. But it says, I want to make a meaningful difference in the lives of others. Making a difference, she opened Comfort Care location because she wanted to make a meaningful difference in the lives of others. And she was a caregiver of a family member, and experiencing that gave her an opportunity to really catapult into this venue of Comfort Care. One of her most memorable moments she speaks of when she smiles every time she thinks of it. She says, I was working with a client at an advanced stage of dementia, and the client's family informed my team and me that the client was non-responsive but needed someone there for safety supervision. While transitioning caregivers on my third visit to the home, the client gently lifted my hand, warmly smiled, then kissed the back of it. The client's expression showed that she was genuinely happy to have a caregiver there and that she understood her needs. I will remember that moment for the rest of my life. That sounds exactly like you. It is exactly as I recall.
It almost made me tear up reflecting back and hearing it from someone else.
Yeah,
So
amazing.
yeah.
You're amazing. You're
Oh,
amazing. So
thank
some credentials include veteran of the U.S. Army medical lab specialist. Cassandra is a licensed clinical lab tech. She has a bachelor's in public health administration from Park University, a master's in health administration from Central Michigan University. She is a Dementia Wise certified office, proud member of the Eastern Montgomery County Chamber of Commerce, Montgomery County Networking Group, and the Case Manager Society of America, and a certified yoga instructor. I
yeah.
remember when you were talking about running those marathons, I was like, God bless her. Lord have mercy.
It's so funny because I just, I don't like post like, like certificates and all that stuff. But just recently, I pulled these medals out and
Yeah.
decided to display them there. But these are like all of my medals, or most of. I just found another one yesterday and added that one to the collection here. But these are some of the medals I was awarded for some of the runs I
Wow.
competed in. Yeah,
Amazing.
yeah.
Amazing. I have always been proud of you. So share. Tell me what's going on in your world. What's going on in the world of Miss Bennett and Comfort Care, Montgomery County.
Working hard, hopefully making a difference.
Amen.
Yeah,
Amen. 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 Amen.
yeah.
And didn't
So,
you just get another award? Did I see an award on Facebook for something that you did?
yes, yes. You're just talking all good stuff now. And sometimes you just keep working and working because it's really about the work many times, and not that the accolades are not meaningful because they truly are. But sometimes when the focus is not necessarily the accolades and just the work, that sometimes you forget that you have these
Mhm.
other things. So thank you for bringing it up because I probably
Mhm.
would have never said a word. But yes, we were just recently awarded three awards actually through a third party vendor, if you will, that is a prestigious organization in the home care care industry, Home Care Pulse. So we were awarded home care leadership. So meaning we are in the top 15% of home care agencies that participate with Home Care Pulse. We were also awarded provider of choice and employer of choice. And what makes those two significant for me is that provider of choice, those are our clients saying how much they have really benefited from the work that we've done. And then employer of choice is those are your employees. So your employees saying that, it's a great place to work. So
that
yes.
is amazing. That's
So
congratulations. Yeah, that speaks volumes. That definitely does your heart good, I'm sure. Because that's
yeah.
well-rounded. It brings it all full circle.
It brings it all full circle, right? Sometimes you're
Oh,
awarded one, sometimes you're awarded two, but to be awarded all three, to be recognized in all three categories is just amazing.
yes, which speaks to people first.
Yes,
You are
speaks
the
to
reason I like this podcast.
first. Yes, people
Yes, that's
first.
the
You're
reason.
absolutely correct. People
Oh
first.
my gosh.
The center of
So
everything. Yeah.
yeah, so we got 5 questions, not too many.
Oh,
And if you're ready, we will jump right into them.
let's go for it.
Okay. Okay. So our first question, Cassandra, what prompted you to enter the realm of leadership?
Oh, what a question. So leadership, I think so. I am the firstborn. Okay, I am one of four,
Okay.
and I have three brothers. So naturally, or just within my family dynamics, I was the lead for many things. So my mother worked outside the home, as did my father. So when no one was there, or if someone had to like fill
Mhm.
in until they came home from work or whatever the situation was, early on I had to make decisions, and it
Yeah.
just really continued from that process. I was able to exercise independence at a really early age, and independence was what I came to know, and leading other individuals such as my brothers. I think they were like my testing ground, if you will, because I had to lead them, and then it just kind of really just went on from there. In my immediate family, I was like the first to do a lot of things, like you mentioned, some of them, the first to to go to a high school that was outside of my district, where I had to catch public transportation every day. The first to go into the military, within my immediate family. The first to go into college. So it just kind of just
Yeah.
all culminated. I don't think I woke. Sometimes you ask that question: are leaders born, or are leaders made?
Yeah.
So I don't know, maybe a combination of them both,
Mhm.
but I know that mine was certainly a result of there's a lot of made in there due
Mhm.
to my environment, the circumstances, and the responsibilities that I had from a very
Wow.
young age.
I completely did not know that. That is amazing. We have a very similar story of our start. Yeah, I'm one of five, but I'm the baby. But
Oh,
I ended up being little mama in the house, so my mom was sick a lot, and I would have to like cook the meals and get on the bus and go pay the bills. I was 9 years old, girl. I said, I know they can't do that today. That's not legal, but that's Dorothy may say get on the bus and take the note. That's what I did. Yes, I didn't know that. So we were both like little mamas in the house. How about that? Yeah, kindred spirits.
right. I'm not promoting that. That's just how
I
things
know. Do not put your babies on the bus. Don't put your babies on the bus, y'all. So who were your leader heroes? Tell me why.
So my heroes. So I would say in terms of so there we have our normal, not normal, but we have those individuals that we may typically think of, Nelson Mandela.
Mhm.
We have a few others as well, but I kind of think about, I don't have like one individual person, but I think of, when I think about inspiration and who inspires me, it could be different individuals at different moments, but there's been a lot of remarkable Black female inventors throughout history that have contributed to science, to technology, and society in many ways. And I can relate to them. So we have, for example, Patricia Bath, and some of these may be individuals that we've never heard of, but she was responsible for inventing. I'm getting older now, so this stuff is like it kind of connects with me. But she invented a device for a laser to remove cataracts from the eye. And she was the first Black female doctor to receive a patent for medical intervention. And then we have, Marie Brown. So, and these are like some unfamiliar to some individuals. They may be unfamiliar. She was she was a nurse, and she invented the first home security system. And that's kind of big, now today, because we all have our different. I was going to name some brands, but we know the cameras that record you when somebody knocks on your door, so we know who those popular brands are today. But to think in 1966, before I was born, that she invented the monitors that could access from a remote location to protect homes. And there are others too. Gladys West is another. She was a mathematician and inventor who worked at the Naval Surface, which resonates with us because of the military piece of it. But the Naval Surface Warfare Center, where she was responsible for developing the mathematical models to accurately calculate the shape of the Earth, which helped or led to the GPS technology. We're like all, using GPS. So I get, and there's so many more. So it just kind of depends on, where I am, but I draw inspiration from wherever I can get it, right?
Yeah.
So from a baby, to our seniors. So the important part is the inspiration. But in the end, I have to say, I have to give most of my my leadership, who I look up to, although my mother is no longer, she has already transitioned. I hear her voice almost every single day. And I would be remiss if I did not say she was my first leader, and she is the voice that I hear almost every single day.
Wow, that's amazing. And how about it's the last day of Women in History Month? Yes, it is.
I did. Okay, this
March
is
the 1st to March the 31st.
Okay, that was a complete coincidence, but
Yes, I love that. And I love that you ended with your mama. I love that you ended with your mama. I remember when your mom transitioned, and I was like, wow, that's a strong lady right there. That's a strong lady. You have always been one of my heroes. I will tell you that. Always. I love you to pieces. I do. You have always been one of my heroes. I remember when I was in the lab, and I was like, this girl is fly. She know what she's doing. She always got her stuff tight. And she was training like, here's what you got to do. Here's how you got to do it. Here's how you got to be. This what time you got to show up. And I was like, okay.
Look, change. I'm still doing that. No, I'm just, that's funny because sometimes we don't know who we are. And sometimes we need each other to hold a mirror up to us. So thank you for sharing that. Thank you for sharing that view. And what you saw,
took me under your wing, and I will say I have been pretty fierce ever since. Thank you. I love you. I love you. Okay, so what do you find most beneficial to your continued growth as a leader?
Oh wow! So I would most beneficial to my continued growth, be in environments where you're celebrated. So it's always, so life is give and it's receive. This is my story, is that I've been a giver like my entire life. That's just who I am. That's how God made me. There's nothing I can do about it or anyone else, right? So I'm just a giver. So I think the thing that has helped me really helped me to excel and maybe get there even quicker is that I've always been a giver. So in order for me to give, I have to get, and not necessarily get like from other people or things of that nature, which means I had to know my craft. So in order for me to give, like I have to have something inside of me. So because I'm a giver, I have I don't know if I was forced or I just naturally all like filled myself up so that I had something to give. So because I've always been, I've always been learning, I've been inquisitive, it has helped me get there quicker. So I didn't like let life happen, like I made life happen. So for me, that has been probably the most beneficial to my continued growth is that I'm always seeking. And then once I learn it, I give it and I make room for something else.
Oh, I love that. I love that. I often say, like in my prayer, and I'm like, God, pour into me so I can pour into others. I
Yeah,
love that. I
yeah,
love that, Cassandra, and I see that.
yeah.
Absolutely see it. Yeah, you definitely are a giver. Absolutely a giver. Yeah, yeah, yeah. So, what is one memorable leadership lesson that you're willing to share with our audience? The one that makes you say, I will always do this, or one that makes you say, I will never do that again?
Let's see. I would say I like to keep this. So this is positive.
Yeah.
So this is positive, but I'm gonna do the we'll never do this again. But I'm still learning, so it's not like 100%. But I would probably say accepting relationships that have come to a natural conclusion, a natural end. So when the relationship is over, it's okay. And it's no, you can like naturally say it was good, but today is the last day. And I think that's perfectly fine. So it could be from a coaching perspective. It could be a coach when you were in stage one of your business, and that coach was perfect. But now you're in stage two, and that coach is not equipped to help you scale in stage two. So it's okay to say, be grateful, be thankful, and just and be and exit with grace. Right? It's okay. Sometimes you have staff, you have employees, and we know that your employees, your clients, we know they're the center, right, of everything. People first, they're the heartbeat, right? They're the heartbeat of my agency. Okay. So, but sometimes you have employees, they were great as a startup. So when you started your business, they were great, but they may not necessarily be the individuals to scale the business.
Yeah, yeah.
And that is okay. So, and the same thing, we talk about individuals that are risk takers, individuals that are conservative. Neither are wrong. Okay.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
the only thing that maybe not necessarily wrong. You just don't want a risk taker in a conservative role and a conservative in a risk taker role. So they
Yeah,
both have their place. So
yeah.
I would probably say not do it again. I summed it up in maybe 60 seconds or so, but it really took me a long time and a lot of pain to get that lesson to learn that piece. But not hanging on to relationships when it's come to a natural end.
I love that. So
Yeah.
one of the things I will tell you that I've been listening to lately, and I think it was Tyler Perry was saying something. I was going through some YouTube videos and I came across it, and then I heard my pastor kind of reiterate it just either this past Sunday or last Sunday, but it was everybody can go where you're going. So it's kind of like a rocket ship, right? And the rocket ship goes up, and then the things come off of the rocket ship because they serve their purpose.
Right.
Right. But they in order for the rocket to propel, those things have to come off because it can't go. And so
Right.
and everybody can't go where you're supposed to go.
And that's okay. Right. You evolve. We evolve, and that's what happens when you evolve.
I do. I love when I hear that. I'm like, I love that because I want to be sure in my caring for people that I don't throw people away. You know what I
Right.
mean?
It's
Right, because
right.
that's where my heart is, right? But I
Right.
want to mentor them into where their purpose is, and their purpose may be this way or that way. But if my purpose is this way, then they may not be able to go where I'm going, and I may not be able to go where they're going. But we
Right.
have served the purpose for one another.
Right. And let me say this, it's actually cruel to have someone that or they're not a match to a certain
Yeah,
role, or
yeah,
you're asking them to continue to deliver something and they cannot, not because, and it's just simply because they can be great in something else,
yeah,
and they are great in something else. It's just not that particular matter, that
yeah.
particular task, that particular project, that particular job. And so you have to, so what happens is you create a situation when it's not a match, where you're expecting something from them, they cannot deliver, you're frustrated, they're frustrated. So it's
Hmm.
cruel to continue that relationship in that way.
I
So
would
you have
agree.
to free that person. Yes, you have to free that person, and you do it in grace and in gratitude, because they helped you get where you are at that moment.
I love that. I love that. Yes. And that's how we keep people first. That's how we keep them first.
Yes,
So,
yes.
Cassandra, what advice do you have for any new or potential leaders? What advice would you give?
The advice I would give to new and or potential leaders is to raise your hand when you need help. So raise your hand when you need help. But I
Hmm.
would couple that with, and do the work,
Hmm.
right?
Yeah.
Raise your hand. That's one piece. And then we have to say, what does done look like? And done looks like you do the work,
Right.
right?
Right.
So, um, so the doing the work, because sometimes you have, I'll just end it there. So raise your hand, and then once you raise your hand, don't go badgering 500 people who have, they're working day and night, and you get 30 minutes, an hour of their time, or 2 hours and is, help me, help me, help me, help me. But then you walk away and nothing that they suggested, or
Mhm.
like you didn't take it in. Don't be a perpetual, don't be perpetual and just raising your hand.
Yeah.
Also also do the work. So
Yeah.
people are there, and if people give you 30 minutes of their time, they give you an hour or days of your time, it's a blessing.
Yeah.
Yeah, so take
Yeah.
those little seeds, plant them, and then and cultivate them and grow and be great.
Woo. I love that. So I'm
Hmm.
like, were you in my Sunday school lesson, or I just got finished a Sunday school lesson and we were talking about planting seeds and all the things that it takes to cultivate it, and soil and sunlight and things like that, and how God gives the increase. And just really that we have certain roles. And I love the way you said that, like plan it and then go do the work. Like don't keep
Right,
raising your hand asking the same question. Did you do what we talked about? Like there's an accountability piece to the leadership development. Like here's the task.
right,
I'm gonna
right,
walk with you, and then we're
right,
gonna check back, because if you're not doing what you said, I'm not gonna let you keep taking up space. Right,
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 right. I mean, yes, people first, but we're not gonna have leech. We're not gonna allow people. We gotta grow them. So yeah,
right.
I love that. I love
Yeah.
that.
Hmm.
So, Miss Cassandra, how do we stay connected to you and your organization of Comfort Care?
Uh, well, I'm gonna share that with you, and I'm
Yeah.
going to, if it's okay with you, share how I stay connected, just in
Yes,
general,
absolutely.
connected just from on another level, because sometimes leadership, I mean, it's not all it's work. So sometimes we make it as look easy as
Mhm.
leaders, but we know there's a lot of responsibility that comes with that. So, but just from a connection perspective, like how I stay connected, just in general, and I think this is really important for leaders because you can wear likely you will be wearing multiple hats and you're going to be pulled here, there, everywhere. But I like to um, check in with myself and connect with me and make sure, like, do the work that's necessary for me to have a high vibration. So I tried to do things that would increase my vibration. I make a conscious effort to do that. So my vibrational alignment, vibrational harmony, I make sure I'm a vibrational match to what I want. So, I can't want joy and happiness. I can want it, but it's going to be very difficult if I'm not vibrating joy and happiness and whatever it is that I want to be. So I have to check in with myself, and it comes in many different forms. It could be, we talk about meditation, and for me, meditation is just really centering myself, understanding where I am at that moment and where I need to be, and then how do I get there. So having those tools in your toolbox, having those resources where what to pull out based on where you are at that particular moment. For some people, they run, some people listen to music, some people cook, but whatever that is, check in with yourself, right? And see how you are. Get the tools in the toolbox and then pull them out as needed. And let me tell you, sometimes you're pulling them out several times in one day.
Glory, glory.
What did we say in the military, Tawana? Was it woo-ha? What was it?
Yeah. Absolutely.
Inhale and let it out. So, but in terms of staying connected with the agency, we do have a website. And we have comfort care, home care agencies across the country. So we have over 200 locations. As you indicated earlier, I am specifically in the Pennsylvania market, and I have 2 territories, one being Montgomery County and the other being Philadelphia. So the website is www.comfortcare, which is COMFORCARE.com. So you can go to the website, and wherever you are in the country, wherever you're watching this, we have wonderful owners. You can type in your zip code and someone would gladly help you.
Absolutely. Thank you so much. Any questions for me, Cassandra? Anything you want to add that I did not cover?
This was awesome. This was more than not going to say more than I anticipated, because you are just great within your right. And I appreciate the work that you're doing and the spotlight that you're putting on leaders, because sometimes that can be, sometimes it's a lonely position. So sometimes you spend a lot of time by yourself. So I appreciate you taking this moment and like pulling me out, like get your head off the desk in this project and that project. So it was great to have a nice light conversation, and for us to reconnect again.
I know, yeah. I was like, I'm not talking to you. I'm just saying.
Yeah.
I just appreciate your friendship.
Yeah, appreciate all the work that you're doing.
Yeah, thank you so much. And to my audience, I have to tell you, if you are not following Comfort Care from Montgomery County, Cassandra Bennett, you need to get on that site. She is doing some amazing work now. I will say they're independently owned. So she said over 200 in the country, but they're independently owned. And so really take the time to get into her website and really drill down. She is doing some amazing work. Her accolades are speaking to that with the 3 awards that she mentioned earlier. And I love the fact that she mentioned that that's not even where her focus is. She totally forgot about them. But she's just an amazing person. So I just want to say thank you from the bottom of my heart. I appreciate you more than you know. And I look forward to our continued relationship.
Thank you.
All right. God bless you. Have a good day.
All right, you too.
Bye.
Bye.